Hello, everybody. Welcome to another night of Chair League. Tonight we have Mist Lethal going up against Contingency in a Division 2 Chair League match. We are very close to getting this game underway. Just missing one final member of Mist Lethal, and then we'll be ready to go. So as we wait for them to get all of their players in a row, as you can see, we're going to be playing on Infernal Shrines tonight. And I've had the opportunity to cast Mist Lethal, I think a couple of times now. This might be my third cast, and this is going to be their third game. I may have had the pleasure of casting them for all of their appearances on Chair League. I hope that's the case. I do remember they were a lot of fun to watch, and I'm really hoping for an exciting game tonight. Mist Lethal so far is 1-1 in Season 3. Again, this is a Division 2 game. Contingency has not yet played a Chair League game, so this is going to be their Chair League debut. And I'm excited and honored that I have the privilege of casting that game. So I did receive word that one of the players on Contingency is playing with a questionable internet connection, so hopefully that doesn't cause too much of an issue, and we'll be able to play this game smoothly. Of course, in Chair League, as in all custom games, pauses are available if necessary. But again, hopefully it doesn't come to it. It looks like the fifth player of Mist Lethal is online. There we go. Okay. So draft links are going out. And so because Zarya is released in the game, and the rules of Chair League is that as soon as a hero is available in game, they are available in Chair League. She's fair game to be picked. The problem is she's not yet available on the Top Drafter website. So what we're doing is something that we do in these situations. We here in Chair League is we take a hero that everybody loves, but maybe isn't planning on playing, and use them as a substitute. So right now, Murky. Murky is going to be our stand-in. If the teams want to pick Zarya, then they will select Murky in the draft and then just type in chat that they do in fact mean Zarya, or maybe they do in fact mean Murky. If somebody wants to take the Murloc, I'm not going to stop them. You know, just because he's terrible doesn't mean you shouldn't be allowed to play him. So we've got Contingency is ready to go. Just waiting on Mist Lethal to get themselves in order. Mist Lethal is going to have first pick. And I can see they're getting their portrait synergy in place. It's very important. Okay. here we go. On Infernal Shrines, Miss Lethal gets first pick and first ban. Kerrigan is a very common ban on this map because of her strength at taking down the objective, and of course her strength as an assassin, so it wouldn't surprise me if they get her out of the running early, though I believe Kerrigan likes to play that hero, so they might try to save her and scoop it up for themselves. And they're gonna ban Murky slash Zarya right out of the gate. It is in fact a Zarya ban. So if they do want to in fact take Murky, well, they can take someone else and just say that it's a Murky pick if it comes up. So Zarya is banned out right from the get-go. Kerrigan banned right behind. Strong ban. The Zarya ban, I'm not sure where she is right now. She came out and she was incredibly weak. She got a buff and became ridiculously OP, and I'm not sure if the scales that were released the scale back that was released just a few hours ago has been enough to fix the OP-ness. So it's probably safe to just get rid of her, and then it's just one unknown you don't have to deal with. Malfurion is the first pick. Great choice. He's got a fantastic win rate right now with his buffs. His root has become incredibly strong, and his Innervate, which is now a cooldown reduction for your basic abilities, can synergize so well with so many heroes. Contingency going to respond with a Sylvanas pick. Great choice. She can help your Punisher push very, very far and very quickly, or she can go and push her own lane while you threaten with Punisher or even take care of the objective. Gives you a lot of options, a lot of flexibility. They're going to take their time with their second pick here. The first pick healer from Miss Lethal is interesting. Usually not your opener, but of course Malf is so strong now, it's not a bad pick at all. And they're going to respond with a support of their own. They're going to grab Oriel. I'm not sure if I would have grabbed my healer that early if I was Contingency. They've, Miss Lethal, its double support isn't incredibly common right now. And if they were going to take it, it's probably not till the end. So Contingency probably could have waited a little bit on their support and grabbed their first pick assassin, because now Miss Lethal has the opportunity to take a couple of assassins that they want and then ban a third assassin. Could put Contingency in a bit of a corner. They decided to go with Vala. A great choice, again, with her reworks. I know she's been seeing a lot of play, and I think people are really excited that she's more viable than she's been recently. And the cooldown reduction will certainly help her really dominate her damage, especially if we go for a Hungering Arrow or multi-shot build. And they're going to pick up Johanna behind it. Johanna's a strong tank, great at clearing the objective, great at clearing lanes. It's a good tank to take away from Contingency, as that blind would really put a damper on what Val is trying to do. Yeah, holy Sal, I think that's right. I think they were worried that I don't know if they were worried that Johanna was going to get banned. I think they wanted to take her away from Contingency, because it's probably the biggest threat tank-wise to Vala. Falstad getting banned away from Miss Lethal. If it's not something that Contingency was planning on taking, it's a decent ban. Falstad kind of does the same thing as Vala. If Miss Lethal had taken Falstad, it would have been too sort of ranged, more sustained damage. Of course, Falstad has the mage build is incredibly popular, but it's not burst. He's not a full-on mage, and of course, it'd be two squishy backlines. It would leave Miss Lethal with a limited front line. So, but Falstad's a very strong hero, and his mobility is always a threat. So if you didn't want him, good to get him off the table. Miss Lethal is taking their time with this ban. They want to be careful. They can ban out a tank safely because they don't need one. That certainly wouldn't hurt their later picks. But they are going to ban Jaina. All right, taking away a strong mage. I'm not familiar if it's possible contingency. These teams might have scrimmed, and it might be a hero that contingency really likes to play. Jaina can certainly set up huge combos with Ring of Frost. She's always dangerous. Let's see what contingency does. Again, I think they can wait on their tank for their 5th pick, so I'd like to see them wrap up their top 2 if they want to go double assassin or assassin, maybe double specialist, whatever they want to do. I think tank should wait till the end so they can really get their top choices and not have anything drafted away from them by Miss Lethal's final picks. All right. Suggestion that Vala might be going with the multi-shot build with the cooldown reduction from Malfurion. I think that's very possible and could definitely be very strong. But Contingency is going to lock up their tank. They're going to grab Muradin. Solid tank. Little surprised. I haven't had a lot of experience with the new ETC, so I don't know how much he's been hurt by the changes to Power Slide. I'm surprised they didn't go with him. Although with Vala's Rain of Vengeance, I guess, is one more stun. Muradin's always a solid tank, though, and they do actually go with a double tank, the Muradin and the Sonya, so they've got a very strong front line now. It's going to give them the opportunity to take a mage to sit in the back, and it's going to be very hard for Miss Lethal to get on whoever that 5th, presumably very heavy damage dealer is going to be, because you've got Muradin and Sonya as such a strong front line, and right now Miss Lethal doesn't really have any divers. So let's see what Miss Lethal are going to go with. Really a lot of options. Contingency is a little low on damage right now, so actually they could go a lot of ways. They do grab Greymane for a diver for presumably whoever that back line is. And now you've got a little bit more of a front line, so Val is not a main target. How do they want to round this out? A specialist is probably not a bad idea. Someone to respond to Sylvanas. Zool could be pretty good. Lock down Sonya if she tries to jump into the front line. Lock down anybody. And of course give you good clear for the objective and good wave pushing. But they're going to go double support. They're going to grab Brightwing. I like it. I like it. Shields for Greymane. Polymorph against Sonya if she dives to the back line. Or if she goes Wrath of the Berserker. Even more powerful since Wrath of the Berserker does not, I believe, reduce the duration of Polymorph. And Contingency does go with the Mage for the backline. They go with KT. And he's someone we really haven't get to see too much anymore. So these are going to be your lineups. Both teams have decent front lines. Contingency a little more solid, a little stronger, but of course Miss Lethal with more damage. And if Greymane can get on that KT, he's going to be in trouble. Contingency saying that they banned out the Kerrigan. Or Miss Lethal were upset that they banned out the Kerrigan. But I mean, what do you expect when your name is Kerrigan? I feel like you're just inviting everyone to ban her away from you. Change your name to Murkigan. Let's take another look at these lineups as we wait for everybody to ready themselves. The double support versus double bruiser. It's an interesting lineup, an interesting confrontation. Just trying to think about who I think has a little bit of the edge here. I think both of these compositions could absolutely work. Both teams have a lot of setup potential. Contingency has a little bit more of the, chain stun to stun into stun into stun with Sonya, Oriel, KT, Emerald, and all of them have some CC. Meanwhile, Johanna is really the only one with reliable stuns. Malfurion, of course, has the root. That root's going to be very helpful for Greymane if he wants to go with Executioner. That once somebody's locked down, they're going to go down quickly, especially if that person is KT. So, as these teams get ready to go, let's get started with our introductions. On the blue side, for Miss Lethal, we have Kerrigan on Greymane, Captain Straps on Vala, Elfnari on Johanna, Sassyport on Brightwing, and Gowler98 on Malfurion. On the red side, we have Contingency, Linkhall on Auriel, Ziltoid on KT, Helmet Head on Muradin, Digibounce on Sylvanas, and who are we missing? Thirst on Sonya. So start off Contingency, they're going 5-man top with Sylvanas going to try to snipe an early tower. And it looks like Miss Lethal has scouted it out. See if they can get there in time to do anything about it. Not much. That great detainment strike from Auriel to knock Johanna away before she could condemn anybody. They do grab that top tower, and now they're going to go back to soaking lanes. And because there was a full 5-man rotation from Miss Lethal, but they weren't able to stop the tower, Digibounce might get a little bit of an XP lead on this, because both teams, might have missed a little bit of soak here. Greymane's going to be the first one bottom. Johanna's going to follow him, and that teams are sort of finding their stride, finding their laning phase. Johanna looks like she's going to try to set up a little bit of a gank for Sonya. Nope, but the contempt just hits the minions. They're going to be fine to clear it. Sonya has a lot of health. It's going to be tough to finish her off this early. Meanwhile, top, Muradin is taking some damage, but he's going to tap. He'll be okay for now. And maybe we just got Auriel holding down the fort. Taking a look at the level 1 talents. Got Moonburn, Regen Master, Bribe, Perfect Aim, going for a cocktail build on Greymane, and Hot Pursuit, increasing movement speed for Vala. More movement speed. Going the cocktail build makes a lot of sense for Greymane here in that you can throw the cocktail into the objective. You're definitely going to hit something. You're going to get the cocktail blast, which is, of course, where most of your damage comes from. But I'm surprised they're not going with a basic attack build just to get more sustained damage against that KT. Meanwhile, over on Contingency, we've got Warpaint, Swift Sweep, Paralysis, Convection, the quest for KT, and Third Wind, extra healing for Muradin. So KT is going to have to play a little cautiously to try to complete that quest as quick as he can. Some well-placed Flame Strikes here will definitely help him, as Miss Lethal is going to be grouped up. There's really no other option for them. Miss Lethal does get on the point first and starts pulling up a few of their defenders. Sonya trying to zone them out, spinning and trying to grab a few. Flaming Bomb goes off of Johanna, but she's going to make sure not to spread it out to anybody. Muradin's going to have to back away. He's down to about half health. Third Wind's going to heal him up pretty quickly if he just stays out of the fight. Johanna going very deep. A great root on Sonya. Greymane diving to lower Muradin down. No deaths, but Contingency was pushed off the point, and Miss Lethal is now over halfway finished with the objective. Contingency making their way back in. Level 4 talents taken for both teams. Got a Loon's Grave, Amplified Healing, Unstable Anomaly. Sonya getting caught, put her right forward. She's going up very quickly, and that is going to be it for her. Vala is very low, but she does manage to back out. The healing from those two supports keeping everybody alive. And that is going to be it. First objective does go to Miss Lethal. It's only the first one, though. They probably won't be able to get much more than the front wall out of this as long as Contingency is smart with their defense. Muradin trying to bait the Punisher over the wall, but instead it jumps in the backline and gets KT and Auriel. Muradin gets stuck in the root. Greymane with the dive, and he gets finished off. So that's definitely going to be the fourth from losing that tank. It's very unfortunate for Contingency. KT going down very low, caught in the can't think of the name of the town. Caught by Johanna and finished off by the rest of the team. So losing KT and Murd in there is not what they were really looking for. Condemned, of course.
But we're not done yet.
So, 2 deaths, a level and a half lead for Miss Lethal, so that's a great way to start the game for them. Take a quick look at the towns again. So unfortunately there for Contingency, Murden was trying to bait the Punisher over, but instead it jumped behind him and went on his squishy backline, and it sort of threw out the whole synergy. There's a 4-man gank, or 5-man gank bottom on Sylvanas, not KT. Great rotation there by Miss Lethal to prevent them from getting catching up in XP. Stun going out, Murden's just letting everybody retreat back to safety. Sonya's up top, pushing the lane, getting the XP that Contingency desperately needs to try to stay relevant here. Just want to make sure that they stay as close as possible. It's going to be tight, but I don't think Miss Lethal's going to be able to hit 10 before the Shrine spawns. They probably will be able to delay and keep soaking into the objective to catch 10 and then engage. Let's see how that timing works out. Taking a look at the level 7 talents. Cleanse, Blessed Momentum, Mystified, Incendiary Elixir, so a full cocktail build, and the multi-shot build that we were expecting from Vala. Meanwhile, we've got Follow Through and Focused Attack, Majestic Span, Empathic Length, Last Soul, Barbed Shot, Netherwind, Burn Flesh, Reverberation, and Piercing Bolt. So, and it looks like Miss Lethal is going to stall a little bit on this objective, get 10, and then engage once they get 10. Or not. Or, well, Brightwing staying top. She's going to get 10 for them very quickly. And there it is. Contingency knows this. They have 10, so they have to be very careful. If I were them, I would just back out and let this go. Vala goes ahead with the straight, not rain advantage. He has a lot of damage on Murden. He does go down from the dive from Greymane. Sonya going down very quickly as well. That go for the, so all of the ults were used by Miss Lethal. They knew they had the advantage. They wanted to take it. Go for the throat did so much damage to finish off both of those tanks. And unfortunately, Contingency, when they were, not having your ultimates when your opponents do is the biggest disadvantage you can be at any point in the game. So they really had to know to back away there and try to avoid a confrontation. So they're going to lead the Punisher back a little bit. They've got 4 and now Murden's having 5 members. A fantastic route for Murden to catch KT, and he goes down as well. They're sending all 5 members down here to defend. I think that's a mistake. I think Sylvanas needs to be mid to stop this camp that's slowly pushing forward, and someone should be top to keep getting that soak. A Blessed Shield goes out, lots of stun, Strafe going down, Oriel going down quickly, but she's going to back away. Sonya's also going to escape with her life, so a lot of damage done. And Greymane with the dive forward. Go for the... No, not go for the throat. Just the dive forward to finish him off. Go for the throat is still available. Very aggressive play by Carrigan, and it pays off. He gets the Murd, and Sylvanas also went down in that fight. And Contingency is still not level 10. And that's the danger when you defend with all five members. You're not getting any experience, and they so desperately need it. At this rate, Miss Lethal is going to be 13 before they hit 10. A lot of damage going on Vala, but Brightwing is there to heal her up, keep her safe. And they're still staying grouped as 5, and there's waves. This bottom wave is pushed forward very far. It'd be perfectly safe for Sylvanas to go down, clear it, and then group back up. But they do finally hit 10. And there's 13 for Miss Lethal, so they still have the talent advantage, but not nearly as bad as it was before. A good engagement by Contingency. They could win an objective and they'd be right back in this. Now they're splitting up. Interesting that they do it now that they've hit 10, when it's significantly more dangerous and the experience is not as necessary. But of course, they are down to talent. They do need that XP still. Ultimate's taken, so we saw Blessed Shield, we saw Strafe, Emerald Wind go for the throat, and Twilight Dream. Great Blessed Shield there to pick off the KT. Ultimates for Contingency, Wrath of the Berserker, Crystal Aegis, Wailing Arrow, Phoenix, and Avatar. Nothing too surprising here, except I mean, the Strafe isn't surprising. It still does a lot of damage, but I think Rain of Vengeance is, I think that would have been my go-to, just to add an extra stun, especially in these narrow corridors, these narrow hallways that fights on Infernal Shrines almost always have to take. The stun going out on Greymane, Reverberation. No damage, just a little bit of annoyance. And Contingency, I think they're looking to find some way into this fight, but it's going to be so tough. They're down to talent, they're down 3 levels, and they decided we're just going to back away, we're going to soak. We actually have this camp pushing bottom. That's going to be a fort, almost certainly, because it looks like no one on Miss Lethal is interesting and responded. And hopefully they can coordinate on this. They can grab the Punisher, lead it a little bit further back to and save, if not save this fort, then not lose anything of their keep wall. Murden does bait the Punisher out. There's the root. He pops Avatar to stay alive, but a lot of damage going down. Sonya, Wrath of the Berserker is popped. She's trying to get some damage in. So much damage from Vala. There goes Strafe. Sonya's so low. There's the Punisher jumping on 5 of them. And although Vala did go down, Sonya, Sylvanas, and Muradin followed her as well. So a 1 for 3. And this Punisher still has some legs. The front wall is going down. KT going down very, very quickly just from the Arcane Punisher's lasers. And Greymane, go for the throat, is down. But he's going to be looking for an opportunity to dive on that KT. He finds it. Oriel is keeping him alive. Greymane might have gone a little bit too deep, but he does back away. And KT and Oriel escape with their lives. Every member of Contingency is back up. And Right Wing going down very low. But a great root from Malfurion is going to slow this advance. Right Wing is staying alive. She's back up to basically half health. The double support really proving its worth, keeping everybody healthy. And they do escape. They did not manage to get the keep, but they also didn't lose anybody after that initial Vala. So great job there by Miss Lethal, showing some control and backing off once the fight had turned away from them. And Contingency going to pick up a camp here, just try to get some counter pressure going. Murden jumping and diving in front of Greymane to try to set up this attack, but Greymane does manage to back away. Sonya going very far forward, the polymorph from Right Wing, and she is almost dead, but a great Crystal Aegis might keep her alive, but there's the finisher. Now Murden going down very low, Blessed Shield from Johanna, the root catches 2 of them, and 3 again are dead for Contingency, and this time no lives lost for Miss Lethal. Greymane trying to dive in, finish off that Sylvanas. She does manage to phase away, and she stays alive, but this is definitely going to be almost certainly bottom keep. There's still 8 seconds before anybody is up. Here's the wave. And Miss Lethal's gotten themselves another talent advantage. They're at 16 now. And bottom keep is down. We know mid keep is very low, so they're going to be able to finish that off basically whenever they want. They've got a camp pushing top. Everything right now is going Miss Lethal's way. And Contingency is going to need something drastic to catch up here. And maybe worst of all, this Punisher that's about to spawn is in the bot camp. The bot lane where there is no fort anymore. It's the one, in fact, the only lane that doesn't have a keep, rather. So it's going to be threatening core directly. Not what Contingency wanted to see. They would really have much preferred this Punisher to spawn top. But they're going to just push the lanes out, try to get some experience. Taking a look at the talents here for 16 talents: Lunar Shower, Holy Renewal, Hardened Focus, Alpha Killer, and Frost Shot. Alpha Killer makes a lot of sense for Greymane here with the 2 warriors. Sonya pops Wrath of the Berserker. She's trying to go on Greymane, but she misses the spear. The silence, the Emerald Wind, and the Polymorph all on Sonya. She goes down. Johanna doing a great job not spreading the bomb. Another great root from Malfurion. The Crystal Aegis goes down on Murden, but I don't think he's going to be able to get out of this. does drop the stun behind him. Another great root, and he goes down. Meanwhile, on the right side, Oriole goes down. Greymane dives on Sylvanas to finish her off, and it's just KT. But Greymane has him in his sights. He's got the scent, the pounce, and that is a full team wipe. No one lost for Miss Lethal, and I think that is going to be it. Sonya is back up, but it's going to be 10 seconds before another member's up. Sonya gets caught by the Punisher and the Root and finished off. Galler98 has just been on point with these roots. Those roots into Punisher slams, the polymorph follow-up by Brightwing, or just the Johanna with a Condemn or a Blessed Shield, did a lot of work there. So very well done by him. And I think the draft here, Miss Lethal really knew what they wanted to do. They went with the double support, and it worked out obviously very well for them. Only one kill for Contingency, and that was the Vala as she was strafing, doing a ton of damage on everybody, and that one kill resulted in 3-kill response by Miss Lethal. So very well played by them. As we take a look at the stats here, Greymane unsurprisingly leading in damage with Vala right behind him. The reduced cooldown, I'm sure, helped both of them just refresh those abilities, refresh their ability to dive on the backline to get that massive amount of damage, and it was just too much for Oriole to keep up with. KT, they did a great job focusing him. He was never able to finish his quest. He just was never really able to get online to get that damage going. And of course, falling behind early, that when they got level 10, and Contingency unfortunately didn't get enough XP to really compete with them until it was a little bit too late and the game was already starting to get out of hand. So a great game from both teams, but some coordination, some excellent routes by Galler98 on Malfurion, and fantastic follow-up by his team seals the victory for Miss Lethal. We'll take a look at the talents again. We did see the multi-shot build pretty much at every talent from Vala. Greymane went with almost the full cocktail build, but then he started going a little bit auto attack in the later talents. Brightwing went with a nice blend of talents. She took trait abilities, shield abilities. Emerald Wind, nice choice for the few times that Sonya did jump to the back line. She did take Bribe. I didn't see... I didn't follow Brightwing too much, but I think they did make a lot of use of Bribe. We did see a lot of camps pushing for Miss Lethal. Very standard build for Johanna, and a good build. I think standard build for Malfurion as well. Loon's Grace. Twilight Dream only got used a few times, but used it very effectively. The silence as soon as Sonya or Muradin wanted to get in the back line and just shut down everything they were trying to do. So a very well played game by Miss Lethal. They are your winners. They are going to be 2-1 as they head into week their fourth game, Division 2. Contingency, their first showing in Chair League. Unfortunately, not the outcome they wanted, but hopefully we'll get to see them again. A stronger start and a stronger game, and I look forward to seeing them grow as a team. I want to thank you all for watching. I am Esquire Sandwich, and I will see you all next time.